You played some music in the past. You used to learn a new language. You attended dancing classes. Or you had a passion for drawing. Yet you can't remember when was the last time you did any of those activities, burdened by your daily hectic job. In this video, I will share with you how I still practice my hobbies while being a doctor. First of all, the expectations. Once I have lowered my expectations, things started to work out. When I was young, I was in a basketball team, and I had reasonable expectations at that time. But I made my choice and chose a different career path. I followed my dream to become a doctor, specifically a cardiologist. I tried to keep up with the same level of commitment and practice while studying medicine. But this led to frustrations because obviously I couldn't keep up doing very well in both fields. I couldn't expect from myself to become a professional basketball player while also becoming a doctor. Okay, this might be doable in very extreme conditions, but I personally couldn't do it. But this doesn't mean that I have stopped playing basketball or enjoy my time. So once I lowered my expectation from becoming a basketball player, once I have admitted the hard truth that I will never make it to the NBA or be in a national team and settled to just enjoy my time playing basketball with some friends and some pickup games, things started to get easier and easier and I could do what I love more often. Number 2 is the power of 23 minutes. 23 minutes are not 20 minutes and also not 25 minutes. Let me explain. Having a hectic schedule left me with little continuous free time, which means I rarely have a chunk of 2 hours straight without any task to do. But what I could find during my day are some odd numbers of small breaks. For example, 17 minutes waiting for a conference to start, or 23 minutes waiting for my friend to come over to study together, or some 7 to 8 minutes waiting for an order to arrive. So these small random numbers are not meaningless. I started doing my activities during those dead moments. For instance, I can listen to an Italian podcast in 21 minutes. I can take a mini guitar lesson on YouTube in 17 minutes. I can read a few pages from a book in 13 minutes. And magically, I started to notice some improvement without being aware of it, all while doing my mini hobbies. Rule number 3 is the once weekly rule. Of course, when I was young, I could attend the gym whenever I wanted. I don't sleep at the hospital, I have no duties. So while I started my internship, the frustration began. Because I had the willpower to work out, but I don't have anymore the freedom to do it as much as I want. Sometimes I can't leave the hospital for 24 hours straight, I have to prepare the patients for the next day. So a lot has changed. I couldn't work out anymore 4 times weekly, for example. I probably had like only 1 day per week to work out. So I stopped going to the gym. I thought it was not worth it anymore. But I was mistaken, because this once weekly is very important to keep me in touch with my hobby, while making some sort of maintenance to my gains, until I have another opportunity to increase the number of sessions per week. And finally, limited activities. This one I learned from this book, The Essentialism. I talk about this book in many videos. The idea behind it is, if I had so many activities and hobbies to do, I end up doing none of them. Because I will be making tiny improvements in so many different directions, which is negligible at the end. So I decided to do the following. I chose only 1 physical activity and 1 intellectual hobby to incorporate into my schedule. The physical one was obviously to go back to the gym. It's healthy, it's nice, it gives me some endorphins. And the intellectual one, at first, I started to learn how to code and do some programming. And as previously mentioned, I start with small sessions, only like once weekly, without high expectations, nor worrying about the results. And after 6 months, I really couldn't believe the improvements that I have already made, all while enjoying my hobbies. And now what I do, every now and then, I either try to add an activity or replace one with another. For example, I stopped coding and programming and started to learn Italian. And as many of you already know, I somehow have an acceptable level in Italian now. And speaking of Italian, if you want to know how I learned Italian very fast, you can check this 3-minute video. It might be inspiring to you. See you next time.